Help me, I am very badly. Help me, I am very badly. Very. My ear hurts very much. My ear hurts very much. Help me, it hurts me. What will calm me? It hurts very much. I am very badly. I am very badly. My ear hurts very much. It hurts very much. I am very badly. Help me. Help me. Help me, mother. Help me, my child.
For 2 years, Michael has been caring day and night for his severely ill mother. As a result of intensive antibiotic therapy and the use of powerful antibiotics, her condition progressed to end-stage kidney failure, after which she was placed on dialysis. Sometime later, during the course of treatment in the fight against an acute sepsis infection, she completely lost hearing in both ears and developed severe tinnitus in her left ear. Her condition requires constant management of unbearable pain and complex medical care. At this stage, no adequate treatment options are available locally. The family's only hope lies in access to modern medical care abroad. We ask everyone to stand by this family so that Madame Hélène has a chance at life and relief from unbearable suffering. Their story reflects the harsh reality families face when serious illness leaves no simple solutions. And this story of their family's struggle is truly a story of the century.
We will bring our mother back, just as she was before this illness, as she had been throughout her life.
Mr. Michael, your name is Michael, right?
Yes, yes.
How old is, what age is mother?
Mother is 73 years old at the moment.
73. Understood.
She is in her 74th year, yes.
And you said it has been like this for 2 years, is that correct?
Yes, it will be 2 years in February.
Mr. Michael, I want to ask you, before her condition worsened to this point, and before she required hospitalization, was she able to walk normally? Did she have any hearing ability in that ear?
Yes, yes. She was in a normal and healthy condition. But in the last few days, she began having difficulty eating. She had a complete loss of appetite. Since her creatinine level became slightly elevated, we went to the regional hospital so they could bring her creatinine down and do something to help stabilize her and improve her condition.
And after that, her condition worsened. Does she have pain now? What is causing this situation and what exactly is hurting her?
Yes, she keeps saying that her ear hurts, and at the same time, her tinnitus is extremely severe, a condition that the whole world struggles with, because it is one of the most difficult and persistent disorders known for many years. We were told abroad, specifically at the well-known Mayo Clinic in the United States, that they will be able to manage all of this and help my mother regain her quality of life and her sense of joy, so that she can return to us the way she used to be. I miss my mother. Since this happened, she has remained in this suffering state, poor soul.
Has she been in this condition for 2 years? Is her pain so severe that no one here has been able to help her?
We took my mother to Tbilisi, the capital of Georgia, and sought care at several medical facilities, but her condition did not improve. At this stage, we are facing a very difficult situation. Under the current circumstances, managing severe tinnitus locally has proven extremely challenging. Some medications that were prescribed earlier were not effective, and her condition worsened, so their use was discontinued. Later, based on consultations received from abroad, from Germany, we were advised to stop these medications, as they were not appropriate for this diagnosis and could potentially cause additional complications given her condition.
Now what does she use? What is the main pain reliever she is taking?
Our main pain-relieving option is Dimedrol, administered by injection, although it calms her only for a short period of time. Naturally, the question arises as to how many times per day it can be used. The generally recommended dosage is limited, but due to my mother's severe condition, more frequent administration is sometimes required to ease pain and help her calm down. As a dialysis patient, many medications are not suitable for her, which significantly limits treatment options. Dimedrol is not an ideal solution either, But at this stage, there are virtually no other alternatives.
What is her drowsiness like? How is she sleeping?
Mother does not sleep easily. We give her Ketelept, one of the strongest sleeping medications, but even that barely helps her. As time goes on, it is becoming less and less effective, and she is getting worse every day, which frightens me deeply. We also cannot give her too much or too often of any sleeping medication, so we are struggling a lot.
Mr. Michael, this is your brother, right?
Yes, he is my brother.
What is wrong with him?
He has been disabled since childhood, with cerebral palsy and intellectual disability. He is a person with special needs. He cannot eat by himself. He cannot drink water by himself, even if he wants to. He cannot move independently, and if left alone, he would not be able to survive. That is, he cannot move independently, and if he is left alone, he cannot live. Simply, he cannot survive. He simply cannot live physically without constant assistance.
Mr. Michael, what income do you have? What is your source of income?
For the past 2 years, ever since she became completely deaf, our situation has changed drastically. Normally, patients who are on dialysis can go and return independently. They move freely and take care of themselves. My mother cannot. After losing hearing in both ears, she also became unable to move independently, and she cannot interact in society on her own anymore. Because of this, I take her to dialysis and bring her back myself. We spend 5 to 6 hours in total for each dialysis session, including transportation, and this happens 3 times a week, every other day.
Does the dialysis session require a long time to conduct? Do you have to cover a long distance on the road to move there?
No, it is not far, but the dialysis procedure itself takes time.
Yes, I understand. The dialysis infusion needs its own time.
Yes, that's how it is. 4.5 hours to 5 hours, and sometimes even 6 hours we are out, including the road completely. It is close, but we still end up spending this much time.
All right, Mr. Michael, what income do you have?
Pensions, because for 2 years I have been sitting at home, taking care of my mother and my brother and the family alone.
That you look after them. I understand. You need to look after them and take care of them. Is mother constantly like this? And is it possible that she is like this the whole day?
The poor mother, when she becomes very exhausted and all her energy completely drains away, then she already shuts down. That is, she suddenly falls asleep, and at that moment, we are afraid that nothing will happen to her, and we rouse her. And she wakes up, and then again the poor mother is in this same bad condition, and this unbearable illness torments her. It hurts her severely, and she cries out like this. It brings her to tears. Then, from time to time, it may happen that again for some time she falls asleep a little. She is like this during the day as well, and during the night as well, the poor one, with this repetitive, the same unbearable cycle's continuous turning.
To tell the truth, I am in such a situation for the first time. I have not seen such a severe patient anywhere.
I also am saying and declaring exactly the same thing in our original clinic, and no one can say anything at all anymore.
I do not know. Truly, I do not know.
I have not seen anything like this. People have strokes. I have seen worse painful things, but the way we are suffering and struggling now, I have not seen a patient like this. I do not know what this is. Before my mother went deaf and lost her hearing, my mother was not like this at all, and it has been like this only since then.
Yes, unfortunately, because the lady no longer hears sound at all in either ear and anything.
Unfortunately, this is exactly how it is. That is, all of this torments her and tortures her very much.
She hears nothing from the outside, and inside she has unbearable noise-induced pains in her left ear.
Yes, unfortunately, this is exactly how it is. My father also can no longer do anything. He is also a pensioner. He has had bronchial asthma for 41 years, and when he moves from one room to another, he can no longer breathe. It is difficult for him to breathe, and he always uses aerosols. In our situation, I can no longer give attention to him either, because of my mother being in this condition. And here is my disabled brother as well, who is also so demanding to care for. He needs care from start to finish.
I understand it is very difficult. How adorable your brother is.
Yes, he is very loving. They are angels of the Lord, exactly such beings.
How old is he?
My brother is 48 years old, and he is more preserved than I am. He is always like a child. He was incredibly beautiful when he was little.
Mr. Michael, has your brother been continuously in this condition since birth?
Yes, my brother has been in this condition since birth. His delivery was complicated, and forceps were used during childbirth. During the process, an unfortunate complication occurred which resulted in severe and lifelong health impairments. This situation has deeply affected our entire family, especially my brother's life. It is a difficult reality that our family has been living with for many years.
Mr. Michael, as far as I know, now you need the appropriate medical assistance. And the only remaining way out is for a clinic in Turkey to receive you and for modern medicine's intervention to help your mother recover from this tormenting and hopelessly painful illness. There they promise you that your mother's unbearable pains will be relieved. What amounts of money are we talking about, and what amount do you have?
Yes, we have hope in modern medicine. What other hope is there? Yes, and I will also tell you right now that we have been helped as well, and we are very grateful to the Chernovetsky Foundation and also to the Mothers Foundation. They are extremely precious people. But the required amount of finances could not be collected, and at the moment it will be somewhere up to about 6,000 gel, which can be transferred to the clinic even today. But this amount is not enough, because the $3,000 written on the invoice by the Turkish Acıbadem Clinic is intended only for examinations, to study the patient's condition individually from start to finish. In addition, they have also increased their prices recently, and all of this is because, based on the medical documentation that I provided to them, the patient is extremely severely ill, and physically, they still cannot state in advance what exactly the patient will need according to her individual condition and how much money may be required, what the overall cost will be, until they physically see the patient on site and examine her fully.
Also the travel expenses and the hotel expenses.
Yes, the travel expenses and other expenses as well, and then also the expenses for examinations and treatment. That is, those $3,000 are needed solely for examinations, and plus or minus, we still do not know how much more may be needed individually for her, and especially then, what my mother's treatment will cost. This is about medications and about other subsequent stages involving medical staff there, about the various involvements that will be needed, as needed and according to necessity, depending on their involvement. I think probably around 16 to 17,000 gel in total at these stages.
You are saying 17,000 gel. So you think that this amount will be enough?
Yes, that is how it is, as we have already discussed with them. And it is likely that even this amount may not be enough for all of these. I think probably 16 to 17,000 gel in total for examinations, and plus or minus it may even become more expensive, depending on various possible significant factors taken into account. Added to this is the daily dialysis fee, which is very expensive for a foreign citizen, as you know, and I will explain this in more detail later. Our situation is quite limited in terms of budget, unfortunately, given my poor mother's condition, and we rely on the kindness of good people, because we truly do not know what amount my mother's recovery will cost. Naturally, and in fact, it is a sin my mother is suffering so much right now, and she needs help.
Mr. Michael, no other clinic has responded to you from Turkey, because the Turkish Acıbadem clinic is quite an expensive clinic.
Yes, of course. Several clinics responded to us, and there were 2 clinics among them most recently. One of them said that bringing her would be pointless and pitiful, that they could examine her but could not cure her. At the same time, there are also 2 very strong international major clinics in Turkey that accept international patients and provide services at a modern level. These are extremely powerful clinics in Asia. One of them was the very first from the very beginning, and they also have a very large network. I apologize, I cannot recall the name of that clinic. The second one is also a very large clinic, the Turkish Acıbadem Clinic in Istanbul. There were also several other clinics that responded to us, and there were several that refused altogether.
Because it is a very difficult illness. I have never seen suffering like this anywhere, ever.
It is a very difficult disease. Yes. As for the Turkish Acıbadem Clinic, I first contacted them, and after that they connected me with their Georgian representatives in Georgia. And after that, we had certain communication. Then many things changed several times. Also, since each dialysis procedure is required for the patient 3 times a week, in Turkey one session costs $800 for a foreign citizen, which is a cost of $2,400 per week. And in advance, no one knows how long they will keep us there. In addition, the last invoice that was changed by them increased the prices from the old $3,000 to $9,000, which unfortunately our family truly does not have the means for at this stage. The best solution, the most recommended and highest quality option, based on my mother's condition, the patient Eleni Kipiani, is to take her for treatment to the well-known Mayo Clinic in the United States of America. And also, if we are unable to collect the necessary finances, our next plan is, of course, to take my mother to France, because we have great hope in their humanity, and to carry out a full course of treatment there, which the patient Eleni Kipiani, my mother, will need individually. In this respect, France is a very gracious country, and they carry all of this out selflessly. They have helped many people completely selflessly and free of charge, and have healed many foreign citizens for free. I very much want and hope that I will take my mother Eleni Kipiani to America and treat her at the Mayo Clinic, where she will receive absolutely the necessary and essential urgent, high-quality medical care for her. There she will receive modern, high-technology medical assistance using ultra-modern technologies. Dear kind-hearted people, I thank everyone in advance for listening to our story and for taking it to heart. Of course, first of all, I wish everyone a peaceful life, peace and well-being, health and happiness, and success in all your endeavors. Amen.
Mr. Mikhail, as you said, in Georgia there is no doctor, no specialist who can specifically deal with the severe direction of the tinnitus disease. Such a person does not exist. Is that correct?
No, unfortunately there is not, because we have only one otoneurologist doctor in the entire republic, in the Georgia. That is, 2 doctors in one, a doctor of the brain's nervous system and of the ear's nervous system.
Mother cannot stand up, nor can she move?
If we hold her by the hand, yes, but when she is this bad, she will not be able to move physically on her own, of course, but if she calms down a little, that is all. Otherwise, when I take her to dialysis, I am under constant stress. We are in all kinds of emotional states. We do everything possible to calm her at least a little. For this, we give Dimedrol separately a strong sleeping medication. Again, we give Ketilept even during the day at that time. Separately, another calming medication that can be given to a dialysis patient, because not all medications can be given in this condition. In this way, we calm her a little, and we struggle. We struggle a lot. Sometimes we are late for the dialysis procedure, but everyone there knows everything and helps us, and they are also very good there at dialysis. Extremely precious people.
Now I will show you Lady Elena Kipiani, who is suffering from extremely unbearable pain. Elena lives in Georgia, in the city of Saçkere. She is cared for by her son and daughter-in-law, who are unable to have children for certain reasons. Elena also has a second child, who is a person with disabilities, PWD. I do not know, I have not encountered such a difficult situation like this anywhere before, with everything combined like this. The family and Lady Elena are truly in an extreme condition. Here, in fact, the family has nothing left to sell because they only have this one house. And Mr. Michael, this is probably your family home and you have nothing else, correct?
Yes, that is truly how it is.
This lady has been suffering like this for 2 years. Mr. Michael, does Lady Elaine, your mother, usually address only you? Does she have awareness? Does she make contact only with you? Does she recognize you?
I will tell you. No, thank God. She has awareness and recognizes all family members and has contact with everyone. But she does not hear at all in either ear, and this is what makes it difficult in this case. There was a period when, during treatment involving strong psychotropic medications, she developed a severe condition, and alongside antibiotic impact, she lost awareness, and we needed separate treatment in another hospital in the capital, in the direction of detoxification, where the patient, Eleni Kipiani, was noted to have complete loss of consciousness. She could not stand on her feet, could not maintain balance, spoke incoherently, uttered strange and illogical sentences, at the same time wrote unclear sentences, and eventually completely lost the ability to speak and shut down, and we barely brought her back. After that, I urgently took my mother to the capital, Tbilisi, to Bochorishvili Clinic, where the doctors are extremely precious and very knowledgeable in this field and direction, and they have strong neurologist doctors. They cured my mother of this problem within 3 days and put her back on her feet again. The people and doctors at Bochorishvili Clinic are precious.
Madame Elaine was admitted to the Saçkere Clinic 2 years ago. Prior to that, she was in a normal condition and suffered only from diabetes, and even that, as family members report, was characterized mainly by low blood sugar levels. She never had elevated blood sugar levels, neither then nor now. Following her hospitalization, over a short period of time, the patient's condition worsened.
Yes, she had certain kidney-related issues. However, fluid excretion was occurring normally, and kidney filtration and cleansing functions were being carried out adequately at that stage. She did not present with severe complications in this regard. At that time, her creatinine level was slightly elevated, at around 280. She was not considered a severe patient, as prior to arriving at the Saçkere Clinic, she was able to move independently and did not have significant physical limitations.
But her mental state and her hearing were completely normal and good.
Yes, her hearing and her mental state were completely normal and good on the day she arrived at the regional clinic. At that time, she was thinking fully clearly, just as my mother had been throughout my entire life, normally.
In reality, Madame Hélène arrived at the Saçkere Regional Clinic independently. At that stage, she was speaking clearly, thinking coherently, communicating normally, and did not exhibit significant hearing limitations in her daily function.
Yes, over a relatively short period of time, after several days, my mother's health condition worsened significantly, which led to her transfer to the intensive care unit. In total, my mother remained in intensive care for 34 days, including 11 days during which she was intubated. On February 17th, her birthday, she was connected to life support equipment and under sedation, and therefore was unable to perceive the arrival of her birthday, neither on that day nor in the days that followed, which was an extremely painful and heartbreaking experience for our family.
This is the second child. There are 2 of you, is that correct?
Yes, we are children of the same mother and father, 2 brothers.
This is the second child, and he has been a person with disabilities since birth.
Mother used to take care of him. He slept with mother his whole life, and now mother herself is the one who needs help, the poor one. and our always kind mother, the helper of everyone and the caretaker of everyone. Unfortunately, now herself needs the help of all of us. My mother is a hero mother, a true Georgian hero mother, because people who are ill like my brother simply cannot live, not for this long. In fact, they cannot exist independently at all if they do not have a good guardian and caregiver.
And your brother is 48 years old now.
Yes, that is indeed so.
Is it possible that mother can be like this the whole day and also throughout the night?
Yes, unfortunately. In reality, we almost do not sleep at night at all, neither my mother nor I. My brother often gets out of bed even after he has fallen asleep, because of my mother's loud crying, screaming, and intense noise. After that, he is unable to sleep for the rest of the night. In this condition, it is physically very difficult to explain anything to him. We are living in unimaginable struggle and suffering. This situation has continued for 2 years now and has completely changed our daily life. That is why I say that I have never seen anything like this before.
I truly have never seen anything like this before. Honestly, never. But I do not know. I truly do not know. I am addressing everyone with a request. This lady, Elena, is in a very difficult condition. The family lives on pensions, and probably your family also receives social assistance.
Yes, that is so. Truly, yes.
Pensions, and this is basically your only source of income, which is not enough for the family, even for medications.
Dialysis also has a separately assigned amount, and my mother receives money for transportation. But naturally, it is still not enough for us.
Yes, I truly understand. It is not enough for you, of course, yes.
Because of my mother and the entire situation surrounding her illness, before I left my job, I was approved for a loan. I accepted it solely so that I could help my mother and try to save her life. A large amount of money was spent on her treatment, and as a result, I also took on additional debt with the bank. To this day, I still have an outstanding loan and monthly payments to make. Eventually, due to my mother's condition, I had to stop working completely and stay at home to care for her. This is how we have been surviving, in the condition we are in, together with my poor mother. Before that, we had even hired a caregiver. At the time, I was working and did not hesitate about any expense, as long as it helped my mother and gave her a chance to stand and walk again after the trauma she suffered following her discharge from intensive care. At that stage, my mother was completely unable to move independently. She could not walk. She could not move properly. She could not eat with her own hands, and she could not drink water by herself. After 2 weeks, however, I dismissed the caregiver because she was unable to provide meaningful help. She could not perform the necessary therapeutic massages, nor could she assist my mother with the essential physical movements. I took full responsibility myself. I began performing the correct and necessary massages and helping my mother carry out the required movements several times a day at different times. I gave everything I had to my mother. I committed myself fully so that she would be able to walk again. After her discharge from intensive care, for more than a year we had to transport her everywhere in a wheelchair. We could not even seat her properly in the car. Instead, after tremendous effort, we had to place her in the back of the vehicle together with the wheelchair. I could not manage this alone. Neighbors, friends, and people I grew up with helped me constantly. They put aside their own responsibilities and met me every day, at midday when I took my mother to dialysis, and again in the evening when I brought her back home. 2 people from my close circle were always there whenever they knew we needed help. For more than 8 months, until my mother was finally able to stand and walk again, we lived and struggled like this every single day. Even afterward, the struggle continued, especially when transporting her. We lived through extremely difficult days, unimaginably heavy days. And the truth is, even today, we are once again going through extremely difficult times.
I understand, and I am sorry. I need to ask you, has this been like this continuously since this morning?
Yes, since the morning. Before that, we had a difficult night, as always. Yesterday, my mother fell asleep around 4:30 in the morning. Then she woke us up again, and I do not remember exactly what time we fell asleep again. After that, in the morning, she slept a little more, and since then, after around 10 o'clock in the morning, it has been like this.
Practically, she has been in this condition for 2 years now.
Yes, unfortunately, that is how it is. Even during the dialysis process, she often becomes unwell. She cries, she is in pain, and there the doctors also have to administer additional medications separately in the form of injections to calm my mother down. I do not know it is unbearable. I do not know anything like this. She also has diabetes, which requires separate treatment and control. And on top of that, there are already so many other issues. And because of all this, everything has become much more complicated for her.
I truly have never seen anything like this. A person suffering in this way. Does she have any reaction to you?
Yes, she is mainly focused on me. She always wants me to be with her and to see me, and she places great hope in me. I cannot even step outside for a single minute if I want to. For 2 years now, I have not gone out with people my age or with my friends. When I do happen to meet someone my age, we meet each other like people who have been separated for a long time, because I must constantly be with my mother, day and night, and I cannot leave her alone. This has been my life for 2 years now, home to hospital, hospital to home. This is my daily reality since my mother became so severely ill in every possible way. If I want to go somewhere, I simply cannot go anywhere because I cannot leave her. She becomes much worse if she does not see me. Even when I was taking her to hospitals in the capital, when she had blood poisoning with an acute risk of sepsis, and twice when she was treated for sepsis at Ingorokva Clinic, may God bless them, they helped us immensely. They are incredibly kind and highly knowledgeable people. On 2 different occasions, they saved my mother's life from sepsis and death. We stayed there for 18 days once and 12 days another time, and I could not leave my mother alone for even a single minute. I was with her constantly, every day and every night, and the doctors at Ingorokva Clinic actually thanked me for this, because they are such understanding and compassionate people. Otherwise, her condition would become even more unbearable. Once, during that time, I had to leave urgently to obtain a document for my mother, and it took me up to an hour before I could return. When I came back to Ingorokva Clinic, I found the situation so serious that the doctors were already very tense. They told me then not to go anywhere anymore, and said that they would send someone wherever needed and help with anything required. Since then, I have never left my mother alone even for a minute, and it is the same now. I am constantly with her so that she does not become overly anxious.
Mr. Mikhail, is she on the way? How is she supposed to travel? By resuscitation ambulance? Or is it possible for her to travel by airplane?
By airplane, yes. There is no other way for her to travel anyway. And how else could we even imagine it? Because how could she possibly travel for 2 days or more by another means of transportation, or even for a day and a half? We know that we cannot make the journey within hours by any other way, and an airplane naturally covers the distance in the shortest possible time.
But in such a condition, you would probably calm her in advance with painkillers and then take her for travel, right?
Yes. In such a condition, before traveling, it is necessary that pain and anxiety management be carried out strictly within the framework of doctors' recommendations and supervision. so that my mother can endure the journey as safely as possible. At this stage, our goal is to bring her into a reliable medical environment where her condition will be cared for fully and professionally. I am no longer afraid that complications will arise during the journey, because we know that further care will continue under modern, qualified medical supervision.
Mr. Michael, so the Chernovetsky Foundation has 6,000 gel, right?
Yes.
Have you contacted the state healthcare system?
I contacted the healthcare system, but the situation there is quite difficult. The local authorities in our district helped us with a certain amount of financial resources. May God bless and strengthen them all. They are also precious people who took our situation to heart. As for treatment abroad, if anything is financed in this regard, it must involve innovative approaches and treatments that are not provided in Georgia. The reality is that, given the severity of my mother's condition, Georgian doctors have been unable to manage her helplessly torturous illness, severe tinnitus caused by the complete loss of hearing in both ears as a result of an overdose of strong antibiotics.
But do you not have documents stating that the patient requires treatment abroad?
Yes, this is a somewhat difficult problem to resolve. However, yes, we have more than enough documentation and everything is in place. It is just that it is not financed quickly or easily according to the patient's needs. And even if something is done locally here, in that case it is also not financed. And if it is done here, it is done at the family's expense, which means it is not financed at all, as we were told, so to speak, by the government.
I understand, so this means that you must collect the remaining amount entirely on your own.
Yes, in this case, unfortunately, that is how it is. And I am fighting very hard to take my mother abroad for treatment, to help her and to save her.
Yes, I understand that you want to take your mother abroad for treatment.
Yes, I want this very much.
By the way, what kind of lady was your mother, Hélène?
She was an extraordinary person, and I followed my mother to the very end in this almost hopeless and seemingly impossible fight for survival because of who she was. I do not even know how to describe her in words. Sometimes words are simply unnecessary. She was an indescribable human being, a profoundly noble person, and the best mother. A mother who raises and carries through life a permanently and hopelessly ill child like my brother shows what kind of woman she truly was. Outside the home, she worked tirelessly, trading during the hardest times, from the Shevardnadze period and afterward, through the severe hardships of the 1990s and even beyond. She stood in the marketplace in winter cold, in summer heat, in rain and wind, so that her children, especially a child with such a severe illness, would lack nothing. She nearly ruined her health there, and no one around her knew that she had such a severely ill child. She was such a good person that only now, during her illness, are people learning that she had a child like this, and they are unimaginably shocked, because they love and value her so deeply and never expected that she carried such a burden. She never told anyone about her situation. My mother was silent, dignified, and never complained. Until now, we had never asked anyone for help. And if this is not hardship, then I do not know what is. Because this is not just hardship, it is extreme hardship. I have troubled you as well, and the people from the Chernovetsky Foundation are precious human beings. May God bless you all. What more is there to say, if not that in moments like these, people must stand by one another?
I understand, and I want to ask everyone to help your mother, Lady Hélène. I believe that after this request, at least some amount will be added to the funds raised, so that Hélène has a chance.
Thank you very much to everyone. I wish health to everyone, and I wish it to all of Georgia and to the entire world.
Help me, Mother. I am in pain. Mother, I cannot take it anymore. Mother, I am dying. Mother, I cannot endure it anymore. Mother, it hurts so much. Mother, what will happen to me? Mother, help me, Mother. Help me, my child.
Calm down, Mother. Have hope in goodness. Have hope in God, Mother. Have hope in kind people. We will help you, Mother. We will definitely help you. We will take you abroad for treatment, and you will be healed.
For 2 years now, Michael has been listening to his mother's desperate pleas. She is in unbearable pain, but painkillers are unable to control the pain.
Due to sudden deterioration and complications that developed during the course of treatment, my mother unfortunately ended up in intensive care. She was admitted there following an acute failure of both kidneys. Within a very short period of time, over several days, her kidney function deteriorated sharply after intensive antibiotic therapy, and she has now been on dialysis for a second year. In addition, following the use of strong antibiotics, she completely lost hearing in both ears, after which she developed severe tinnitus, and we see every day how unbearably my poor mother is suffering.
I am addressing the most precious people with kind hearts with this request. We are witnessing our mother in such severe hardship, in what can only be described as an unbearable condition, and our lives, naturally, have changed completely as well. The only possible solution is modern medicine.
A mother is priceless, without comparison and unique, one of a kind and irreplaceable. And my dearest people, can anything compare to the strength of the bond between a mother and a child? Dear ones, where is a second mother? I am fighting very hard. I want to help my mother, to save her, and to have her with me for as long as possible. And for this, of course, we need help. We will help my mother, and she will return to me again. I miss my mother. For 2 years now, we have been living in this extremely difficult condition. May the Creator bless you all. May the Lord strengthen you, and may He show mercy to everyone in the world. Amen.
Mr. Michael, does your brother always face such a difficult situation and all this noise with such a calm attitude? Does he not get angry? Does he not become nervous or irritated at all?
Yes, recently he has become much wiser. Before, he was very nervous, and from childhood until around the age of 40, he would break everything, become angry, and bite his own hands. But now, because of what has happened to my mother, I do not know how or why. It is a miracle, but for these 2 years, he has taken it to heart in some way, as if he feels everything deeply. He feels sorry for our mother, and he no longer gets angry at all. And there was another miracle. When my mother was in intensive care, and he was hearing bad news, for 3 days he was completely silent, inactive, and motionless, sitting in one place wherever he sat. When he later heard some good news from us, only then did he begin to move again, as he has been doing throughout this time on camera. His behavior was unbelievable and a great miracle.